Within ProTime Estimation, default values can be set that will then be populated throughout ProTime Estimation at the beginning of a new study. To access this menu, go to Tools and select Options. Within the Options menu are a list of useful defaults that can be set prior to a study. I'm going to go through some of these useful defaults and show you where they appear within ProTime Estimation. To begin, I will start with default calculated time allowance. Currently, the default calculated time allowance is set to 0. If I go to the calculated time tab, here I can see the column where this default allowance will be populated. In this case, I've already performed a study and changed the default values to the values that correlated to this study. But if I were to begin a new study, each of these values would start at 0, corresponding to the value that I have set within the Options menu. The default confidence interval is for the Observe Time tab and lets us know how many observations we need to make in order to achieve that confidence interval level. Within the Observe Time tab, that value falls within the task table and the confidence interval column. Even though these are set as the default, any values that are set within the Options menu can be changed in the individual cells. The default estimated time allowance is within the Estimated Time tab. And the default Observed Time Basic Fatigue Allowance, Time Personal Allowance, Observed Time Special Allowance, and Observed Time Variable Fatigue Allowance can be seen here within the Observed Time tab. In this study, the default time unit has been set to minutes. ProTime Estimation prompts the user to set the default time unit prior to beginning the study. A user can then change that default time unit here. However, it is important to change this time unit before making any changes to the study in order to maintain consistency throughout the entire study. The default labor rating corresponds to the rating assigned to operators for given tasks. And the observed time study type corresponds to whether a video or a real-time study is shown initially when the Observed Time tab is selected. A user can still switch between a video and a real-time study within ProTime Estimation regardless of what the default is. Another important feature that I want to point out is the time standard rank. The time standard rank correlates to where ProTime Estimation pulls data from when generating time standard rank reports. To see how to generate these reports, please watch our Generating Reports video. Currently, I have the time standard rank set as calculated, then observed, and then estimated. That means that when a time standard rank report is run, ProTime Estimation first looks to the calculated time tab and pulls data from there. If no time for a given task is populated within the calculated time tab, ProTime Estimation then looks to the observed time tab for a time for that task. If there is no time for a given task in the calculated time tab or the observed time tab, then ProTime Estimation will look to the estimated time tab based on the order that I have defined in order to populate a time for that task. If I wish to change this order, I can simply select the time standard rank cell. Let's say I want ProTime Estimation to first look to observed times, then calculated times, and then estimated times. I can simply move the observed time in front of the calculated time in the Edit Time Ranks window. For more information on any of the default values within the Options menu, please see our Help Manual. To learn how to access the Help Manual, watch the Help Manual video. Once I exit out of the Options menu, ProTime Estimation will prompt me to restart the application so that any changes that I have made may take effect. Depending on the version that you have of ProTime Estimation, you may see an Options menu like the one shown here. All of the contents remain the same. However, the user interface has been enhanced to allow for easier manipulation of each of the preferences. If you have any suggestions on how we can continue to enhance our product,
please go to proplanner.com and visit the Forums tab.